Congratulations. Yes, you. You, who have journeyed far, cried in the silence of midnight prayers, and whispered your hopes into the shadows. You, whose soul has known struggle so intimately it has become your second skin. You, who have stood at the edge of giving up, yet chose to stay, bruised but breathing. Let me say it again, slowly this time, so your spirit can hear it clearly. Congratulations. You are about to receive what you've been praying for. This is not just another moment. This is the turning point, the place where all that waiting begins to make sense. You have not endured the rain in vain. Every sleepless night, every tear that salted your pillow, every disappointment that made you question the heavens, all of it was seen. Every plea that left your lips like breath in the cold air, every dream you dared to keep alive despite the weight of failure, was counted. The universe has been listening, and now it is responding, not with noise, not with chaos, but with precision, with intention, with divine timing that does not falter or fail. Understand this, what you are about to receive is not charity, it is not luck, nor coincidence, nor the pity of fate. It is yours because you have earned it in the currency of patience, faith, and unshakable resilience. You have held on when everything around you told you to let go. You have believed when belief itself was mocked. You have fought battles in the quiet chambers of your soul that no one but God saw, and you won. Not because you did not fall, but because you rose every single time. There were seasons that tried to kill your spirit. Winters so long and cruel they made you forget the warmth of sunlight. People walked away. Some betrayed you, some never saw you. But look at you, still standing, still here, and not just existing, growing. You planted seeds in that barren land with nothing but tears and hope, and now harvest time is approaching. The fruit of your prayers is beginning to ripen. You are about to walk into rooms you once only dreamed of. You are about to meet people who will recognize your worth without you having to shrink or shout. Doors are about to open, those heavy ancient doors that once felt welded shut. They are creaking now, groaning on their hinges, sensing that your time has come. What once rejected you will now seek you. What once denied you will now deliver. But before it all unfolds, let me speak to the part of you that still doubts. That quiet voice deep in your chest, whispering, what if it never happens? Hush it gently. Let it know it has served its purpose. That voice was there to protect you, to keep you from the sting of disappointment, but it is no longer needed. There is no shame in being afraid, but hear me now. Fear has no dominion over your destiny. Doubt cannot cancel what has already been written in the ink of divine favor. This is your season of receiving, but more importantly, it is your season of becoming, because what you are about to receive is not just a thing, an achievement, a breakthrough. It is a reflection of the person you have become on the journey, stronger, wiser, softer in spirit, yet more powerful in truth. You are no longer who you were when you first made that prayer, and that is why the answer is coming now, because you are ready, not perfect, but prepared, not without scars, but with a soul that understands gratitude in its purest form. You see, the blessing was never just about the outcome. It was about the becoming, about shaping you into someone who could not only hold the miracle but honor it, who could steward it, nurture it, and grow it beyond yourself. That's the true prize, not just what you're receiving, but who you've become because you kept going, because you kept. And don't let the quietness of the process fool you. Just because the world has not seen your preparation doesn't mean it won't see your elevation. The roots grow in silence before the blossom. The baby kicks in the womb before the world hears its cry. So too have you been forming, hidden but holy, becoming the person worthy of the very thing you ask for. And let me tell you, what is coming is bigger than what you prayed for. Yes, you thought you were asking for something grand, but the answer being fashioned for you carries more grace, more peace, more joy than you dared to envision. Your cup will not just be filled, it will overflow, not just for you, but for those around you. Your breakthrough is going to be a lighthouse for others. Your story will carry the light for someone else's darkness. So when the moment arrives, and it will, stand tall in it. Don't shrink. Don't apologize. Don't deflect the blessing or downplay it to make others comfortable. You've waited, you've labored, you've prayed with groans too deep for words. This is your answered prayer arriving on the wings of divine timing. Claim it, dance in it, cry in it if you must, but do not doubt it. Be kind to yourself in this new chapter. The transition from waiting to receiving can be overwhelming. Your soul might tremble with the sheer weight of joy. That's okay. That trembling is the echo of all the times you thought you wouldn't make it. It is the soul's way of remembering the journey. Embrace it. Let it remind you of how far you've come, not to haunt you, but to humble you with the truth of your triumph. People may ask, how did you do it? And you may not have a clear answer, because much of this was not logical. It was spiritual. It was the product of grace, perseverance, divine alignment, and raw sacred hope. And even if you tried to explain, they wouldn't understand unless they had walked through the same fire. So let your life be the answer. Let your peace be the testimony. Let your joy be the evidence. And when the noise of comparison tries to creep in, remember, this is your blessing in your time, tailored for your soul. You are not late. You are not behind. You are on time, perfectly, precisely, divinely on time. What is for you cannot be taken, delayed, or destroyed. It has your name etched in it, like scripture written in stone. So take a breath, beloved. Inhale the truth of your victory. Exhale the residue of waiting. Smile, not just with your lips, but with your spirit. Because what you've been praying for is not just coming, it is here. You're standing on the threshold. The wind of change is brushing against your face. Can you feel it? That's the shift. That's the promise unfolding. That's your new beginning. And it will not be like before. You will not have to fight for scraps or beg for kindness. You will not have to pretend or perform. You will receive with dignity, with joy, with tears, yes, but this time tears of awe, tears of release, tears that say, I made it. And now may your hands be ready to receive. May your heart be open to joy. May your spirit dance in freedom. And may your life speak loudly of grace, of redemption, of the beauty born from pain. Because you, my dear, are the living proof that faith is not foolish, that hope does not disappoint, that prayers do not fall into voids, but rise, echo, and return like rain to the parched ground. Congratulations. You're about to receive what you've been praying for, and oh, it will be worth every second of the wait. And now that you stand at the edge of the blessing you once begged for, let us speak of what it means to truly receive. Because receiving is more than taking. It is more than having something placed into your hands. It is the soul's sacred agreement to say, I am worthy, I am enough, I do not have to chase or prove. I simply accept because this is mine. That, beloved, is where the real transformation begins. To not only receive, but to allow yourself to believe that what you once only dreamed of is now your reality. This moment is the answer to 1,000 silent battles. The nights you cried and wiped the tears before anyone could see. The mornings you woke up feeling hollow, but still got dressed and carried on. The days you smiled, not because you felt joy, but because you believed joy might find you again. All those days have led here. All of them mattered. Every single second of your endurance has been honored by what is now unfolding. There will be those who don't understand how you got here. They didn't see the seeds you planted when the ground was still hard and dry. They didn't hear the prayers you whispered when you had nothing left but faith. And they will wonder why you now walk with such peace, such confidence, such quiet strength. Let them wonder, because this path was not about their understanding. It was about your becoming. There is something sacred about being shaped in silence, about becoming in the hidden places. The world celebrates the fruit, but it is in the root that the miracle begins. You were growing roots when nothing was blooming. You were learning trust, endurance, and surrender. And now, as the bloom begins, you do not arrive empty. You arrive full of wisdom, of clarity, of grace. Receiving what you've been praying for is not a final destination. It is an invitation to walk in the fullness of your purpose, an invitation to serve from a place of abundance rather than desperation, an invitation to become a light for those still wandering in their night. You now carry the responsibility of the blessing, but fear not. That burden will not break you, it will shape you, and it will empower you to pour into others the very hope you once clung to. Do not rush through this chapter, savor it. Let your soul breathe in the richness of the moment. Let yourself be fully present, because this is holy ground. This is not just another win. This is restoration. This is redemption. This is the proof that what is delayed is never denied when it is held in the hands of the divine. You will see things begin to align without force. Connections will form without striving. Paths will appear where once there were only walls. Because when the blessing comes, it brings with it an ease that confirms its source. You don't have to manipulate or hustle or barter with your worth. What is yours will find you. Rest assured, it already is. And maybe part of you still flinches, waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's trauma talking. That's the echo of past letdowns and false starts. But this time it's different. This time the foundation is solid. This time the walls won't crumble. Because this time you are ready, not just with your hands, but with your heart. You prayed for the blessing, yes, but unknowingly you also prayed to be made ready for it. And those long seasons of wilderness were the preparation. They stripped you of false identities. They carved away the fear. They taught you to listen, not to the noise of the world, but to the still, small voice within. And now, that voice whispers not warnings, but wonder. When you wake up in the days to come and realize that you're living inside the very prayer you once cried for, let yourself feel it, let yourself cry again. This time not from lack, but from gratitude so deep it rattles your bones. Because it's one thing to hope, it's another to receive. And it is something altogether holy to realize that your hope was not misplaced. There will be those who say it was luck, or chance, or fate. Smile gently and bless them anyway, because you know better. You know what it cost. You know the nights of breaking and bending and bruising. You know the ache of staying soft in a hard world. And more than anything, you know the miracle of not becoming bitter, when you had every reason to be. So, when you walked into your answered prayer, walk like you belong there. Don't shrink. Don't second guess. Don't ask for permission to take up space. You are not an imposter in your own breakthrough. You are not a visitor in your own miracle. This is your home now. This is your harvest. Own it. But also remember this. The blessing is not just for you. You are a vessel, not a vault. What you have received is meant to overflow, to touch lives, to heal others, to encourage the weary. So speak of your journey, not to boast, but to build. Share your scars. They are not shameful. They are sacred. They tell the story of a survivor who dared to believe. And when you see someone in the place where you once stood, confused, hurting, waiting, don't look away. Be the one who says, I've been there. I know the dark, but I also know the light. Keep going. You're closer than you think. That too is part of receiving, to turn your pain into purpose, your waiting into wisdom, your prayers into power. You may find yourself changing in ways you didn't expect, old patterns falling away, new dreams rising. That's not a crisis, that's confirmation. You're evolving to match the size of your blessing. You're shedding the skin of who you had to be to survive and stepping into the wholeness of who you were born to be. Embrace the transformation, it is sacred. This next chapter is going to ask for your full presence. So leave behind the old doubt, they no longer serve you. Leave behind the fear of falling. You have wings now. They were forged in your waiting, strengthened by your faith, ready to carry you into the fullness of your purpose. And no, it won't always be easy. Life doesn't become perfect just because a prayer is answered. But now, you carry a different kind of strength, a rootedness, a peace that comes not from circumstance, but from certainty. Certainty that you are held, guided, and chosen. So say yes. Say yes to the blessing. Say yes to the newness. Say yes to the version of you that you prayed to become. Say yes to joy, to peace, to love that does not hurt, to favor that does not fade. Say yes to life. And say it out loud with your whole soul. This, right here, is sacred ground, the place where the past meets the promise, the place where your yes echoes into eternity. You've waited, you've wept, and now you rise. Congratulations. You're not just about to receive what you prayed for. You're about to become everything you were born to be. And now that you've crossed the unseen line between longing and fulfillment, let your spirit absorb the weight of what this truly means. You are standing in a space where time and prayer collide, where persistence has birthed promise, and your waiting has been answered not with just what you asked for, but with what you needed. Because often the answer to your prayer is not the exact shape you imagined. It comes tailored by a higher wisdom, dressed in divine timing, wrapped in lessons and blessings you didn't know you required. And still, it is perfect. There is a quiet reverence that falls over a soul who understands the sacredness of answered prayers. It is not a boastful joy. It is not loud or demanding. It is deep, rooted, peaceful. It hums beneath your skin like a song only your heart knows the words to. Because when you receive what you cried for, what you fought for, what you laid yourself bare for, it humbles you. It softens you. It transforms you. You no longer see the world as you once did, because you now carry proof that mountains can move, that valleys end, and that even the driest desert can bloom. And what a journey it has been. There were moments, weren't there, when you questioned everything? Moments when you thought maybe the silence was an answer? When delay felt like denial? When you almost convinced yourself that you were asking for too much, reaching too high, dreaming too boldly? But something in you, some flicker of divine stubbornness, refused to die. And that flicker, that sacred ember, has now grown into a flame that lights the path before you. What you're walking into now is not just the reward of your faith. It is the restoration of what was lost, the redemption of what was broken, and the recognition of who you've always been beneath the weight of waiting. This is your time to remember your power, not the kind that forces or demands, but the quiet, radiant kind, the kind that comes from having been through the fire and come out gold, from knowing what it is to bend without breaking, to fall without staying down, to hope without evidence, and love without fear. You are stepping into your prayer, yes, but more than that, you are stepping into your identity. You are stepping into the space where you no longer need to perform for your worth or negotiate for your belonging. You belong here. This joy, this peace, this breakthrough, it is yours. And not because you were perfect, not because you never wavered, but because you kept showing up, because your heart stayed open even when it hurt, because you kept choosing faith over fear, even when fear made more sense. And you must know this. There is no shame in the struggle that brought you here. You do not need to tidy up your story to make others comfortable. Your wounds tell the truth of your becoming. Let them speak. Let them breathe. You don't need to hide your scars. They are the map of where you've been and proof that you made it. There is power in a person who has been broken and rebuilt, who has been emptied and yet still poured out love. You are that power now. You are that story. As you move forward into this new chapter, remember that receiving is an act of courage. It's not passive. It's not accidental. It requires you to believe that you are ready, even when you don't feel like it. It requires you to silence the inner voice that says you're not enough, that this is too good, that surely something will go wrong. That voice is not your truth. That voice was born in fear and shaped by past disappointment. But you have outgrown it now. You don't need to make yourself small to feel safe anymore. You don't need to brace for heartbreak. You are safe here. This is the land of answered prayers. Let your joy be full. Let it spill over. Let it wake you up in the morning like sunshine on your face. Let it wrap around you in the quiet moments and remind you that you are not alone, that you were never forgotten. Because even in the silence you were seen. Even in the darkness you were being guided. There was never a moment when your tears were unnoticed. They watered the soil of your future. They prepared the ground for what is now beginning to bloom. And now, as things begin to open up for you, as favor and opportunity and grace begin to align in your favor, do not be surprised if your circle changes. Not everyone can go where you are going. Not everyone will understand the magnitude of what you are walking into. That's okay. Release the need to explain. You don't have to justify your joy or rationalize your blessing. Let your peace be your proof. Let growth be your voice. You are entering a season of divine alignment, where things will begin to make sense in ways they never did before, where pain will reveal its purpose, where confusion will give way to clarity, and through it all you will see that none of it was wasted, not the waiting, not the wandering, not the wondering. It was all working, even when you couldn't see it. It was all working together, for your good, for your growth, for your You are about to experience a level of abundance that transcends material gain. Yes, provision will come, doors will open, but more than that, you will know peace. You will know joy that is not circumstantial. You will know love that is rooted and real. You will wake up with purpose, go to sleep with gratitude, and live each day with the quiet confidence of someone who knows who they are and why they're here. And perhaps most beautifully, you will become someone else's answered prayer. You will speak words that lift someone else from despair. You will offer a hand to those who are still waiting, still praying, still hoping. And in doing so, your blessing will multiply. Because blessings are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to flow through us like rivers, quenching the thirst of others as we go. So, don't just receive the blessing, become it. Let your life be the evidence that faith is not foolish, that hope is not in vain. Let people look at you and say, if it happened for them, it can happen for me. Be a lighthouse, be a mirror, be a reminder. And when the moments of doubt come, and they will, return to this truth. You did not earn this by perfection. You were gifted this by perseverance, by grace, by divine timing that is always wiser than our own. And because of that, you can walk forward without fear of losing it. What is rooted in purpose cannot be uprooted by people. What is aligned by heaven cannot be undone by man. Take a deep breath. Inhale peace, exhale doubt. Feel the weight of everything you've carried begin to lift. Not because it wasn't real, but because it's no longer yours to bear. The fight has shifted. You are no longer fighting for survival. You are fighting for expansion, for excellence, for the legacy that was always yours to leave. You are ready. You are worthy. And more than anything, you are here, standing in the very place you once only imagined. Let yourself feel the wonder of that. Let it bring tears to your eyes if it must. Let it shake your soul. Because these are not just the fruits of answered prayer. They are the signs that you have stepped fully into your calling. But as you move forward, walk boldly, speak truthfully, love deeply, give freely, and never, not for a single second, doubt the power of a person who prays, who waits, who believes, and who receives. Congratulations, not only are you about to receive what you've been praying for, you already are, and it's only the beginning. And now that you are living in this newness, this space of answered prayers and unfolding miracles, there is a subtle yet powerful shift happening within you. It is not loud or dramatic, but it is unmistakable. It is the gentle quiet of knowing, a peace that surpasses the need for constant proof. You no longer wake up questioning if things will fall apart. You wake up trusting that even if they bend, they will not break you. Even if winds blow, your roots are deep now. They were formed in the storms you survived. You've crossed a threshold few talk about, the point where peace becomes a choice instead of a result, where you no longer depend on everything going perfectly in order to feel whole. Because you are not whole because of your circumstances. You are whole because of the healing you chose, because of the patience you practiced, because you let the delays grow you instead of define you. And now that wholeness is magnetic. It draws to you not just what you want, but what you deserve. And yet, this new chapter still requires something of you, not in the way the waiting did, not in pain, but in presence. You must show up to your own life, fully, fearlessly. You must not only receive your blessing, you must live inside it. Don't keep your joy on the doorstep, treating it like a guest that might leave at any moment. Invite it in, sit with it, let it decorate the walls of your soul, because this is your season and you are allowed to live in it without apology. There will be moments when the old version of you tries to resurface, when scarcity whispers, what if it doesn't last? When past disappointments replay in your mind like ghosts of what once was. Let them come, but do not let them stay. You are not that person anymore. You don't need to look over your shoulder, bracing for loss. What is yours is rooted in divine timing and divine truth. You don't need to fear its expiration. You need only steward it well, with gratitude, with humility, and with the wisdom you've earned in the wilderness. Now is the time to celebrate, not just the outcome, but the journey, the countless days you chose to believe when it made no sense, the prayers you sent up when your voice was trembling, the faith you held on to when all you had were tears. That was not weakness. That was divine strength in its purest form. That was the kind of faith that moves mountains, not because it shouts, but because it stays. And what a blessing it is to have stayed, to still be standing, to have trusted when the evidence wasn't there, to have remained soft when life tempted you to harden. That softness is your superpower. It is the thing that allows you to love again, dream again, build again. It is the reason your blessing feels so full now, because you did not become bitter on the way. You kept your heart open, and that is why it is now being filled. So let this season be one where you walk slowly through your joy, where you don't rush to the next thing, the next goal, the next accomplishment, Let yourself linger. Taste the sweetness of answered prayers. Feel the way life has opened up around you like a sunrise that refuses to be ignored. You are allowed to be happy. You are allowed to smile without fear. You are allowed to breathe deeply and rest fully. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. Life will still be life. But you are different now, and because you are different, everything changes. Problems don't shake you the same way. Uncertainty doesn't steal your peace like it once did. You know now that you have what it takes to survive whatever comes. And not just survive, but grow, flourish, thrive. That is what this moment is affirming for you. And you, in your flourishing, will begin to attract the kind of connections, opportunities, and love that align with your healed self. You will no longer settle for what simply looks good. You will wait for what feels true. You will recognize when something is right because it won't demand you to shrink, to hide, to compromise your worth. It will meet you where you are and honor all that you've become. You are no longer begging at closed doors. You are building your own table, a table made of resilience and grace, of wisdom and vision. And at this table you will feast, not just on success, but on peace, not just on provision, but on purpose. You are creating a life that feels as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. That is the real blessing. That is the real miracle. And as you continue to walk in this new season, keep your heart open to the gentle reminders of how far you've come. The little signs, the quiet moments, the unexplainable peace. Let them ground you. Let them anchor you. Because they are not accidents. They are affirmations from a universe that is cheering you on. A divine source that is proud of your becoming. You are not forgotten. You never were. You are now a living, breathing testimony to the fact that time is not the enemy. That waiting does not mean being punished. That delay does not mean denial. You are the proof that patience, partnered with purpose, creates unstoppable momentum. That faith, when watered consistently, even with tears, can bloom into something breathtaking. And when you meet people who are still in their valley, still holding on to a hope that feels like a whisper, be gentle. Don't rush them. Don't shame them. Instead, offer them what you once needed: kindness, understanding, a simple reminder that they are not alone, that someone else once stood where they stand now, thinking it would never get better, and it did, and it will for them too. And in this new chapter, you will learn the rhythm of joy that does not need an audience, the kind that hums through your veins when you're alone in your room, grateful for a peace that used to feel so far away. You will laugh easier. You will forgive quicker, not because life is easy, but because you now understand what truly matters. You've seen both the storm and the sunrise. You've lived in the ache and the abundance. And now you choose light. Let every step you take from here echo with the power of survival. Let your words be dipped in truth and your actions in love. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You've already won battles no one even knows you fought. You've already conquered doubts and demons that tried to keep you small. Now you rise, not because life is suddenly perfect, but because you are finally whole. And perhaps the most powerful part of all is this: you now know you are capable of receiving. That's a quiet revolution of its own, because for so long you were in survival mode, accepting scraps, taking what was given, telling yourself to be content with less. But no more. You have learned to open your hands, to widen your capacity, to say, yes, I am worthy. And that shift, it changes everything. You are not chasing anymore. You are attracting. You are not hustling for love or respect. You are embodying it. You are not waiting for life to give you permission. You've granted it to yourself. This is what it means to be in alignment. This is what it means to truly receive. And so, walk forward with a quiet confidence, a knowing smile, a spirit that says, I made it. I didn't just dream. I dared. I didn't just wish. I waited. I didn't just hope. I believed. That belief has now become reality. That waiting has turned to walking. And that faith, it never failed you. It only formed you.